As a graphic designer, I love fonts, and you probably do too. So I thought I'd just make an easy, really laid back video about fonts that I love to use. And these are very unique as well. I've mentioned them before, but here's a list correlating with links in the description of all of these fonts if you want to go check them out. These aren't in the order of my favorites, but the first one is Humane. Humane is from Rajesh Rajput, and it's an amazingly clean, condensed sans serif display typeface. It's so condensed, but it still has great readability, which gives it a cinematic feeling. Everyone's got a phone and it's all vertical, and this typeface does wonders for that. You'll see a lot of people using condensed sans serif typefaces on Instagram when creating carousels because they can fit more information on there and it's still clear and legible. And because we've sort of moved away from 16:9 to 9:16 on our phone displays through like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, this typeface works wonders. But not only that, it's variable as well. It's got so many weights and you can change the weight of it easily. If you don't know, a variable font is essentially a way of using a slider to change how bold it is or how wide or how italicized it is. Best part about it is that it is technically free, but I would go ahead and support Rajesh by clicking the link down below. The second font that I've been loving recently is Lisbeth, and it's on Adobe Fonts. So if you have an Adobe subscription to the Creative Cloud, then you have all these fonts at your disposal, like Lisbeth and loads of other ones. You can definitely tell that it's very unique. It reads really nicely though, and because we're in this sort of weird time where a lot of people are using retro serifs and retro sans serifs, this font is kind of in between. It's got this strange pattern all the way through. It feels very organic and trippy. The display font is very unique, however, the other fonts within it, within the typeface, really complement it well. They're a lot easier to read for the body text or maybe the subtitles, but it's just essentially a great font pairing. I love it. Again, on Adobe Fonts, so go ahead and click to activate them if you already have it. The next one, which is probably one of my most favorite recently, as you see in a lot of my Instagram posts, is Monarca. Again, this is on Adobe Fonts. It is a serif typeface with a retro feel. It has rounded terminals and also quite a high X height, giving it a really balanced look. It's so fluid and very readable as well. You would pay a lot of money to use these fonts in your design projects, and I was super surprised to see it in Adobe Fonts. There's 8 fonts within the typeface, meaning that you can create whole type systems centered around them for your branding if you need to. Honestly, right now, there are so many people using serif typefaces. This is the one to go for. It's super clean. Not only that, they've got some amazing ligatures in there too. So if you want to change up the typeface a little bit in InDesign or in Illustrator when using it, then you can. It gives it a more personal feeling. One of my recent favorites is Lalux's or Laluz. I don't know how to say it, so sorry if I get it wrong. I'm probably butchering it. This is a font duo, meaning font pairing, which is something that a lot of designers struggle with. And to have a font that pairs so well is so nice. It's just so much more convenient. Lalux is a luxurious typeface. You've seen me use it before, maybe in some TikToks. It's got this really nice serif display font, and then there's also really lovely script. So it makes it feel very boutique and luxurious all the way around. Also, the ligatures are crazy. You could be typing something like, let's say, Post Malone in full caps, and it looks like it's lettered because it's so carefully crafted and it looks amazing. This is great for what I would think like a restaurant brand if you're going to use it as like a logo, or even if you just wanted to get that sense of luxury within your branding or within a menu, within an Instagram post, within a product. There's so many uses for this one. I love it. This is the perfect font for someone who's trying to create that quick and easy logo for something. Not that I would suggest using the font on its own. I think you should change a few things about it just to make it more of your own, but it just oozes luxury around it because of the way that the letters flow into each other and also the different glyphs that you have. So it actually changes the way it looks. Like when you put 2 L's together or an L and an O, like a capital L and a capital O, it will do this crazy thing. I love that. Fonts like that is kind of like magic to me. If you're one of those people that are looking for a really clean sans serif typeface to use within your client work for modern logos or just modern branding, like maybe for a tech company, I don't know, this is the one for you. So Noir Sans is a serif font family of 12 fonts with contemporary aesthetics, heavily influenced by the 20th century geometric typefaces. That's what you see a lot of these tech companies using, especially the startups. There's a reason. It's very legible, very readable, very simple. It looks professional, but it's also slightly friendly as well. A lot of these typefaces look friendly, especially with the geometric, because of the postmodern typographer trying to create that sense of legibility, or the readability, should I say, throughout their work. Now, the best thing about this is that Nuance are actually on Envato Elements, who are sponsoring this video. And if you don't know what Envato Elements are, then I will remind you. Envato Elements have over 50 million assets at your disposal for your design projects. We use Envato Elements all the time for mock-ups. For instance, if we're working with a client and we need to mock up a logo for a presentation, so maybe we take a logo for an apparel brand and put it onto a t-shirt to show the client how the logo or the design would look on the product they're selling without actually having to sell that product. You guys already know. Within these 50 million assets, you have fonts as well, and there is a plethora of fonts. Now, don't worry, you don't have to buy them separately, and you don't have to worry about the licensing either. They have this simple license, which you can look more into if you click the link down below. But the best part about it is that you get 50 million plus assets to use for less than $20 a month if you go for the annual subscription, which is mind-boggling. But even better than that, you get 7-day free trial clicking the link down below, so go and try it out. Another great typeface that I love is Carter's. Carter's is a display typeface inspired by retro signage. Now, I love hand lettering. If you know me and you're an OG of the channel, you know that I love sign painting. I love all that sort of stuff. That's how I learned typography. Carter's is an amazing typeface on Envato Elements because it takes that old school sign painting feel, the things that you would see on like a British train or like a wartime poster, and it brings it to the modern age. Obviously, there's like a specific time and place, well, maybe not time, but there's a specific place to use fonts like these because you don't want everything to be super retro and vintage all the time. But maybe you have a poster design that you might want to use a bit more of a retro feel to, or maybe you have a client that likes more of a retro feeling towards their branding. This is the typeface for you. Now, the last one, which is probably my favorite, is Rockgrotesque. This typeface has so many fonts within it, but it's also variable. I love that it's super wide, it's modern, readable, and it just fits so nicely into poster designs. Obviously, there's a condensed version as well, which works super nicely. The thick version, I'm gonna call it the thick version. The wide version I just love. Again, it solves sort of a problem for me when I'm creating content or if I'm designing a poster or whatever, that if I want something that looks modern but also has like this retro vintage feeling, then I can use Rockgrotesque. And because Rockgrotesque is variable as well, it means that you've got nearly infinite possibilities of different ways to show this. It's friendly, it's bubbly, it's got great contrast, it's amazing for type and titles, for body text. I'm not doing it justice explaining it to you like this, but hopefully you can see, I'm excited about this one. This one is over at Adobe Fonts as well. So you've got the actual font family if you want to get all the separate ones, but if you want to use variable fonts, which I might make a video on later, then you can download that one also. If you're wondering what kind of variable stats that I put in 122 in the width, and I bump that weight up all the way to 900 on full caps. It's powerful, big, and it makes an impact. If you enjoyed this video, then thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and check out this video here.